starting to think differently along the lines of actually it's not about how much money I earn, it's about how smart I earn it, and which is continuing to now the things I'm going through at the moment is understanding how to feel happier in my life. Do you know what I mean? Rather than that because I'm very obsessive with things, and if I do something the way my brain wants it to go, it'll be too much. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? So I need to go, right, okay, pull back on that, be smarter, and actually, I'm a massive believer, and I say it all the time, like whenever I help other people as well, it's like, don't chase the money, chase the passion, because chasing the money burns out, doesn't it?
It does, and it's never going to motivate you long enough, because what you'll do is you'll set this goal of earning this amount of money, but you've got to remember, if that's the destination, the journey is going to fucking suck. Whereas if you just set the milestones and use that monetary goal or whatever, a vision of such, if you set that as like the compass, very relevant to our point, we'll set the compass. So if you set the compass to what your life should look like, and maybe that's got a financial number attached, then your actual focus should be on the milestones in front that are directly in front of you, like the power of now, like Eckhart Tolle would talk about. So you want to get there, because then that's a celebration. Then the next milestone, a celebration. And if you just use that goal as like a compass that we're moving towards, like an aeroplane, it just keeps readjusting. The journey can look however you want it to look, but the important thing is that you're enjoying it. It's going to be stressful. There's going to be sacrifice, an element of suffering, because often we need to grow as an individual to become a bigger person so that we can actually even achieve this thing that we believe is potentially possible. And that's what you've done. You did readjust. I think initially when we first met, you had this big dream of money, got the money, and then thought, hold on a minute, hold up, wait a minute, this sucks. And then you've changed it, and now you're doing that with other people who own gyms or want to own a gym. And I just think you've taken the learnings because you've gone through the journey, you've gone through the suffering, and you've also found a way to enjoy the journey and then reposition this as a bigger goal. And that's the thing, the goal, yours, ever changes. And I don't think it's an ADHD thing. I think it's a growth thing.
Yeah, it is funny though, isn't it? Because you always question it, what is it, should it happen, blah, blah. You know what, the fucking answer is, it doesn't matter, and it can happen. I'm still trying to tell myself that, but still. I mean, it's like the other day when we had a chat and I was like, I want to change this, I want to change that. That's just me. When I was young, I used to change my room around every fucking week. And my mum was like, "What the fuck's he doing up there now?" Do you know what I mean? And it's like I was just dragging my bed around, changing thing, and then drilling into the wall and whatever. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It just looks better." But again, that is how I am and how I live. So actually, it's about making sure that you keep. And you said this to me the other day in a different way to what I'm going to say now, but keep hold of the good bits and adjust the bits that. Do you know what I mean? That's what you were basically saying, weren't you, the other day about the whole just don't go and make drastic changes. Because I think for me right now, especially and it's something I'm going through my therapist, it's like, because I'm trying to understand ADHD more, right? And I'm trying to obviously understand what is the positives and what's the negatives, because we need to understand both of them and then change the negatives so that we can, do you know what I mean, spin them round. But then at the same time, where I'm at the minute, I'm trying to make sure that my big focus is happiness. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not saying I'm a millionaire and I've got enough money, because I haven't, and no one ever has, and no one would ever say that. But
it's never enough. That's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing.
But I've earned enough money to be like, you know what, I'm doing well, and I love serving people. I love helping people, whether it be in the coaching aspect of training or business, or do you know what I mean? I'm a fixer, if you want to look at it like that, and I can't help but be that. I need to stop being like that with Sarah, because she just wants to talk to me sometimes. But you know what I'm trying to say, and that, so because I love all that, it's like, okay, how do I adapt my life now to be still those things that I want to be, but also not stress myself out too much?
I mean, it's important, number one, that you make that recognition, like awareness. That's got to be the first step with any movement towards change. Awareness is the first step. You have to realize there's a problem. Once you realize there's a problem, you have to acknowledge that this is actually a problem and I need to do something about it. And that's where you start making the steps, which is kind of what the position you're in now. And then once you've set that, it's just about a relentless pursuit of those goals until you attain them. The way I see it is your goals should appear impossible. the goal, because if you remember, I said the goal is not the end goal. The goal is the compass.
Yeah.
And that's why we have these milestones that we move towards. And these milestones, some of them are big, some of them are small, some of them will help you grow, some of them might make you think you're going backwards. But
some you might change direction when you get to it as well.
100%. I guarantee you will.
That, isn't it? Yeah.
I guarantee you will. And this is the thing. People set goals and they think that this is the thing that they want. And when I get this, I'll be happy. It's a recipe for depression, disaster, sadness, disappointment. It's what it is. When I first set goals, I set a 20-year goal of owning £1 million worth of property. At the time, I was working.
You've gone past that now, haven't you?
Man, like I was working a bum old 9-to-5 job, and there's nothing wrong with 9-to-5s if that's what people want, but it didn't serve me, and it was just the company I worked for was bum old. Yeah. But I set this goal, and I thought, in 10, 20 years' time, I'll have £1 million worth of property, and I'll be rich. My first deal was worth just shy of £1 million. Yeah. And since then, we own and manage over 2.5 million, getting on towards 3 now. And this is 3 years into the journey. So if I thought that was the goal and that's all I could do, I'd have stopped to start with. But also my steps towards it would have been smaller because I've got 20 years. But it was a mistake that we got nearly £1 million for our first deal. I didn't expect it.
Of course that was a mistake.
Yeah, no.
I mean, man now owns fucking Sainsbury's.
I didn't expect it to be that. I thought maybe 400,000 was where we were at, and the costs to do it was so high, it wasn't really going to make much profit, but it just transformed into this incredible thing. So seeing that made me think, man, my goals are small. I need to set goals that are unrealistic.